As you prepare for the installation of the new window regulators for your Prowler, it may be helpful to see what you're working with. This is the OEM regulator that you'll be removing. If it's broken, you'll see a break in the plastic that covers the drive cable, and that could be anywhere along the way. And this is the replacement regulator. Remember that there is a right side and a left side unit. Familiarizing yourself with the instructions and the pictures included with the regulator will make the process much simpler. To get started, you can lay out all the tools necessary for the job. Hopefully, the instructions in tandem with this installation video will make your project go smoothly. The first step is to remove the door panel. Refer to picture number 2 for locations of screws, clips, and bezels. Be careful removing the door latch bezel. It'll require some force as you slide the bezel toward the rear of the door.
Credit card number and everything.
Sliding a credit card under the leading edge can be very helpful. A trim tool or stiff blade putty knife is necessary to remove the inner panel. With the door panel pulled away from the door, you'll separate the harnesses for the window switch and the mirror control harness on the driver's side.
Trim panel. Do that one more time.
Also to be removed are the speaker in the door, the armrest bracket, and the insulation membrane, as well as the seal at the top of the door. You'll see some wiring harness clips that secure the wiring harness to the door panel. They'll need to be popped out so you can move the harness around. Refer to picture number 3 to locate 2 Torx head bolts. Use an awl or magic marker, something to mark their precise locations. When you reassemble to these marked locations, you'll save yourself a lot of time in making adjustments.
If you see in here, you see these elongated slots? Yep. That will allow the glass to go forward, backward, up at the front, down at the front.
You can now remove the glass from the door. With the glass removed, move on to the 3 nuts that secure the regulator. Before removing the nuts on the front and the rear vertical guide channels, mark the exact locations of the nuts. The reference marks will make final adjustments much easier later. The rear guide will come out of the door much more easily if you remove the lower guide channel adjuster. Note the number of turns it takes to remove it. When it goes back in the door, use the same number of turns to put it back in. After you unplug the harness for the motor, you can remove the regulator assembly. It is necessary to compress the ends of the assembly to get it through the inner door panel. With the old regulator out of the door, you'll need to take it apart to salvage some parts to be reinstalled with your new regulator. The old regulator will be easier to handle if you remove the old motor from the mount. On the front and rear glass guides, you'll find some rivets that are attaching the plastic elbow to the guides. To separate them, drill the rivets or grind off the heads. Notice the black tabs sticking through the elbows. They need to be straightened up to remove the elbows from the guides. The tabs sticking up that held the elbows to the guides need to be broken off or flattened out to get them out of the way. The same applies to the front and back guides. Make sure they are as flush as possible, as the glass guide will move up and down the channel. To begin reinstallation, identify the upper stop bumper and the front upper stop. With the tabs flattened or removed on the front guide, slide the plastic guide out of the channel and install the upper stop bumper in the top of the tab where the cable was screwed in. Liberally lubricate the channel and slide the guide back in. With the guide back in the channel, you can now install the front upper glass stop. The hole you need is already there, but you may need to relieve it a little with a 1/4-inch drill. The square head bolt goes into the channel, slide the stop over the bolt, and secure with a serrated nut. Refer to instructions and picture number 9 to properly adjust the stop. Reinstall the front guide and tighten it for now at the upper range of the elongated holes in the door. Be sure the tabs are flattened or removed on the rear guide. Do not loosen the glass stop on the rear guide. It's in perfect position for the new regulator. Lubricate the slider and be sure it moves smoothly. You can now reinstall the rear guide. Here you want to be sure that it lines up with the reference marks you made on the elongated holes. In the package, find the lift channel that you'll install on the lower edge of the window glass. The measurements are precise, as you see in pictures 10 and 11. It's helpful to mark the locations with tape or magic marker on the glass to assure accuracy. Fold the rubber strip that's provided over the bottom edge of the glass. Press the channel over the rubber strip onto the glass. Now this will be a very tight fit. Note that the open part of the channel, where the lift roller rides, is to face the inside of the car. When you are sure the channel is in just the right position, tap it on the rest of the way with a rubber or plastic mallet or a block of wood and a hammer. Grease the lift channel and reinstall the glass in the door. Be very careful to not let the glass fall down into the door. Another hand here is very helpful. Slide the glass into the front vertical guide, then bolt the glass onto the rear guide lift arm at the marks you made during disassembly. Grab the glass by hand at the lift channel and move it up and down to be sure it's operating smoothly. The rear mounting bracket is installed by using 2 of the original motor mounting holes. Refer to picture number 13. Do not tighten the fasteners at this time. You will use the 2 upper speaker fastener holes to secure the drilling template as seen in picture 14. The wider end is oriented toward the front. Drill pilot holes were marked in the template. Remove the template and finish drilling the 2 new holes with a 1/4-inch drill bit. Thoroughly lubricate the regulator gear and slide the assembly into the door. The square nylon lift roller slides into the lift channel on the glass, and the rear stud is slid into the rear bracket that you loosely installed. Secure it with a serrated metric nut, but don't tighten. Seems good. To wire the new motor, cut the wiring plug and pigtail from the old motor. Do not cut any wire other than the old motor. Connections for the new motor pigtail are blue to red and black to black on the left side, and black to black and black to red on the right side regulator. Locate the front regulator bracket in the box. The bottom is installed to the inside of the door panel with the 1/4 by 3/4 inch bolts and 2 washers as spacers, using the holes you drilled with a template. And the top is installed to the outside of the door panel with a 1/4 by 1/2 inch bolt in the back hole, and then you'll drill the front hole with a 1/4 inch drill. Leave the bracket loose, line up the front mounting studs through the bracket holes, and secure with serrated metric nuts. Locate and plug in the wiring connections for the motor and the plug for the driver's side mirror. Now that the window is operational, check to see that everything is moving freely. This is where you'll want to make sure everything is tight and then begin the adjustment process if necessary. Consult the written instructions for the adjustment procedure. Check all wiring to make sure it clears moving parts. Wire ties help to bundle and direct the harness the way you want. Reset the wiring clips in the door panel. Install the speaker, the armrest, and sound membrane. Make the plug connections to the door panel and snap the window switch back in place. Align the trim pins and pop the door panel back in place. Replace the screws, bezel, and top seal, and the project is complete. For additional information on replacement window regulators for your Prowler or for other aftermarket parts that are available, contact Prowler Parts at JeffersonAutoCollision.com.